Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that Ace of Pentacles. To me, for you, Capricorn, the Ace of Pentacles represents the summit of the mountain. Yes. Usually the aces represent the beginnings of something, right? And in that sense, it's true too, but I'll explain in a second. I look at the tens sometimes, and then in your case especially, because you are that goat. You are the one that is climbing that mountain, right? The tens represent the base of the mountain, right? Where it's a wide base. There are many paths, many options. There's room for mistakes, right? There's a lot of things that we can try. We can go back. You know, we can check this path. No, we go back down, try a different route, right? It's very, you know, there's much more flexibility. But as we climb the mountain, it gets narrower and narrower and narrower. There's less room for mistakes, less room for error. We certainly can't turn back. We certainly can't decide to take another path now until we get to the very summit of the mountain and we get that Ace of Pentacles. I feel like something in your life is just about to hit. I feel like you're just about to get that jackpot. You're almost at the summit of that mountain, right? Maybe, we'll see with some other cards, maybe we don't realize how close we are. Maybe there's some clouds. Maybe there's some fog. We don't know. We're right there. A couple more steps. Boom, you're at the summit of Everest, right? In a certain sense, this is also the beginning because, you know, when you're at the very top, you then have to climb down the mountain, right? Nobody ever thinks about that. You get to Everest, you're at the summit, yay. You got to climb back down and get home, you know? So in a certain sense, this does indicate the beginning of the next phase of your journey. Right? But let's put this into some context and let's see what's going on. I feel like you're somebody with a lot of ambition. I feel that you have a tremendous, you've got a tremendous will, right? Next card is that 4. So the next card is about you getting back to your home base, right? Or getting back to base camp anyway. Get my hair out off the desk here. We've got a 2 of Pentacles, a lot of earth energy so far. Okay, we've got a Prince of Cups and a 10 of Cups. Not only is this, well, my mind is moving faster than my lips can. The 10 of Cups there, it could be talking about the absolute thrill and joy and bliss that you feel being at the summit of the mountain, right? But what if this is kind of saying that your next mountain is going to be of a different kind, right? Maybe you're achieving such success, you know, financially, that now you're looking for something. The next mountain for you is going to be one that is more artistic, more creative, that you feel more, you know, that the financial aspect isn't really part of it. That you've already succeeded at the financial stuff. Now it's time for you to follow your heart and do something that's meaningful in a different way. Maybe. Okay? Maybe. I think the 10 of Cups up here is doing a couple of those things. Well, we've got the Emperor in the future position. We've got the Star. We've got the Eon. And we've got a Knight of Swords. And finally, the Prince of Swords. I think your next big adventure is going to sort of hit you like a light bulb on top of your head. I was going to say like a ton of bricks, but that wouldn't be so happy or pleasant, would it? But no, I feel like your next path is really going to come on suddenly. It's going to be that great idea kind of feeling, yeah. And I think that the 10, whatever this 10 of Cups is, it is sort of you looking at the next mountain. You see, if you look at this card, if you think, what if you're down here at the bottom? You're kind of like looking up and you're thinking, wow, that's a tall mountain, right? That's going to be a good one. That's going to be an adventure, right? And, I don't know what other mountain you would climb other than Everest, but there's, K2, and there's some other things that you could do. But I feel like this is going to be the next big adventure for you. Okay. We're sort of standing in awe, looking up at this next mountain, and it's, wow, But let's focus on what we got right now, right? You're at the summit of this one, and I think it's creating a lot of financial stability and power. It feels like a real jackpot here, okay? It feels with this Four of Pentacles that a lot of things that you need money for are going to get taken care of now. I feel like you're able to do a lot of the things in the physical realm that you've always wanted to do. Maybe finally get to redo the kitchen, or finally going to get that new car, or finally going to start saving a little bit for retirement, whatever it is. Finally going to take that vacation or whatever. Finally now have the resources to climb this mountain, right? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe this is a lot of resources, creating a good foundation, a good base camp for yourself so that you can climb this one. But whatever this ace is, this is a jackpot for you. Okay, I think you're very close to closing a deal, to getting that financial a windfall, or whatever it's going to be. Now we're going to get into it. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set it down right here and put our tiny horse, Mr. Ed, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. Okay, we will. It will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction for that card, put it in the comments down below. Let's do it together to exercise our intuition. All right. Let's take a look around the room. We have this cluster of major arcana energy. It is kind of like the Emperor has the authority and the agency and the discipline and the serious business to make the decision to go through this doorway to fulfill your destiny. Right? And, this is exactly it. And I think this is what you're really doing now. And I think that the Emperor has that confidence because this financial thing, and maybe, it's earth energy. It could be physical or financial. It could be health or wealth, right? But it is a great stability. It is a great foundation from which the Emperor can set off on this new journey, go through this doorway, and pursue that which is meant for you in life, right, with this star card. And the star, I think your destiny is leading you to this big moment, maybe this big moment where achieving this ace, right, arriving at the summit, receiving this jackpot, whatever it is, closing this deal, getting this big payday, this is changing your life forever. That is going to be the doorway, basically. It's going to take you through the doorway. That's going to bring you the absolute dream life that you've always wanted. Yeah. This feels really, really good. Not a challenging card on the table, right? You've got the very, very best cards. You also have the 3 court cards. 3 or more court cards to me means there are people with you. You're not by yourself. You're not the lonely mountain goat. You've got your pets, your plants, your people, friends, family, loved ones around you. Yeah. And I think that's helping you to determine what exactly the next path is going to be for you, what the next work, the next project, the next adventure. You're going to take that into consideration, what other people around you are, what they sort of want, or you're going to listen to other opinions a little bit. You're open-minded is kind of the idea here. Not easy for you to be open-minded sometimes, right? Because I think that, Capricorn, when you get the idea, when you get bit by that bug, that's it. That's what you want to do. And so it's a challenge for you, to open yourself up and listen to other opinions, and not just I'm deciding what we're doing. No, it's like now you've got to, okay, what does everybody else want to do today? You know, and then we can sort of negotiate, figure it out, commit, and then we can all head in that direction. But when we're over here on the path of the dove, the open-mindedness is not really what we want. Right? This is, no, there's one way to do it. You're so close to the summit. There's no room for other opinions. There's no room for a debate. Everybody listen to me or there's going to be trouble. Okay? This is the very serious part of the journey. When you're very close, like I said, when you start to get up to the top, it gets more narrow. There's no room for error. There's no room for conversation. There's no room for us to sit down and argue and think of different alternatives. No, we just have to keep going. Okay, it's very dangerous. They call it the death zone when you get way up to the top of Everest, you know. No room for any kind of, shenanigans at this elevation. It's a very narrow path you're walking right now, so you have to keep going that way. When we get to the path of the serpent, though, when we get over here and we go through this doorway of what's coming next, I feel like we can be open-minded. I feel like here we have the ability to sort of just buzz around and feel what we want to do and explore different ideas, experiment, listen to other people's opinions and say, yeah, let's go try that. I feel like there's a big sort of intellectual freedom. Now there's less of a need to have a very strict plan, right? After this big jackpot. And I feel like it's this financial jackpot, this big payday, that's going to allow you to sort of say, well, yeah, let's just experiment. Everybody, you can pick where we're going today, you can pick tomorrow, I'll pick on Thursday, and, everybody can have their day to sort of, to decide the itinerary or the plans for the day, And it feels like that's kind of a freedom that we're not really used to, But I think now you're going to have that resource. And there's a suggestion here that there might have been a health thing going on. I'm not a doctor. This isn't a medical reading. But Spirit's telling me that somebody was dealing with the big C word, okay? And in that case, I think the earth energy is going to be related to health and well-being, especially when we look at the Prince of Cups in the background here. I'm feeling that there might have been that big C health thing, but there's a recovery or a remission, right? And I wonder if this is sort of you getting to that point. Whether it's you or a family member, or maybe this is just a way to express the energy. I'm not really sure. Okay? But it's the idea here that getting to this point of being healthy, right? Of having this restoration of your health with this Four of Pentacles, sort of being out of the woods, let's say. Getting to the summit of the mountain, where at the last few meters, it's important that you just stay the course. There's no room right now for you to waver in your commitment or to start having doubts. You got to just finish the thing, right? Finish the climb. And once you achieve that summit or that return of health and wellness, it sort of opens up your mind to the possibility of just this infinite future. It's kind of like, now suddenly I can make all these different plans with different people, that now it's as if it's as if you could see the whole world from up here at the top. I think there might be something to that. And I hope that's not the case, but if it is the case, it looks like you're in a good place. Okay? Now, we've got no fire other than this doorway of fire. And, of course, the Emperor is some fire energy. But we do have water and water, air and air, earth, earth, and earth. Okay? But we don't have any wands. We don't have any wands right now. And I think that the wand is, in some ways, what we're getting when we get to the summit of this mountain. Let's say this is an illness that you've been dealing with. Getting to this phase of recovery sort of gives you your magic wand back, gives you the keys to the kingdom again. It says here, now you go live your life, go do whatever you want to do. You know, that this phase of the journey is over for you. That you've succeeded. You've reached the summit. You've reached the the successful point, the jackpot day, right? And it could be like the end of the treatment or the sort of all clear diagnosis, right, that you got. And I'm not predicting anything. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not predicting any sort of illness. It's something you already know about if it's for you, okay? It gives you a new lease on life. Gives you your magic wand back. Yeah. But I think primarily this is financial stuff. Okay. This could be really this big payday, this big jackpot. You're going to get to pay off some debts. You're going to get the car fixed, the house fixed up. You're going to pay all the back bills. You're going to everything's going to be just stable. Safety, security, stability with this. And from there, obviously, we see a big improvement because that Emperor energy. You do get your wand back. Right now you realize that the future is whatever you want it to be. With that Emperor card, right? The Two of Pentacles down beneath the surface is kind of a day or night change. And to me, this feels like you thought it was over. You maybe thought it was hopeless, right? Even if it's financial or if it's something health related. I feel like it's a miracle, you know? I feel like this is really went from dark to light. The difference in you, night and day, you know? And, maybe at a time we were really in a bad way, physically, financially, whatever, health or wealth, that things weren't looking so good. And maybe you started to lose a little bit of hope, but you kept pushing forward anyway. Yeah, kept pushing forward anyway. And now there's been just this sort of miraculous recovery, right? That things have completely done this 180 for you. Okay? And however this is manifesting, whatever exactly is going on for you, doing that 180 from kind of being rock bottom to now being at top of the world, being at the base of the mountain to now you're finding yourself, you're at the summit. Well, that's a very big deal. Very, very big deal. The Prince of Cups here in the previous position. Now, this is somebody that I think really is having, because see, there's water on the outside of this energy, but there's a little bit of air on the inside. It's like a bubble, right? And to me, this feels like somebody who's at one point was very delicate on the outside, right? And maybe if this is a health thing, then this totally makes sense. Okay, because this is someone who's very, like, you get sick really easily. You find that it's hard to really, it's hard to ever really feel good on any given day. It's kind of like just one cold or one flu after the other, you know. Very sensitive to the energy coming in, let's say. But if this is financial too, I think that this is this is kind of a vulnerability, right? This is that when we. And I think we've all been in a place like this, you know, where we're on such a thin line. We're living on such a razor's edge that any sort of expense is going to it's going to be a disaster, right? I'm not ashamed to say I've been there in my life too, right? Where it really is sort of paycheck to paycheck. And everything's on a very thin budget. And if the car were to break down, or if I were to get sick, or if there was to be anything else, that's it. Like, that's going to be disaster, right? Because the money's just not there. Because the savings is just not there. There's no rainy day fund. There's no emergency savings, you know? It's just paycheck to paycheck. If there's any blip in that sort of, if there's any bump in that road, it's going to be bad news. Okay. And so I feel like this was sort of your energy in the past. I feel like it's not this way anymore, right? Now we're getting this the Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, right? We got the 4 plus the Ace. And we got this 2 of Pentacles. I feel like we're looking up at this 10 of Cups, and it feels so amazing. This is us looking up and thinking, I can have my dream life. That it almost doesn't seem real, right? Especially when we're living life over here and thinking, one thing goes wrong and my whole house of cards is going to just crumble down. We're looking up at this 10 of Cups and we're thinking, is it really true that I can have a full life? That I can live a full life? And, for me, I don't know if you've heard the story. I had a liver transplant 14 years ago. When I was going through that ordeal, I felt very, very Prince of Cups, right? I felt, and in fact, my immune system was just garbage, and I felt that there wasn't really a future. I feel like I'm living on a very thin edge, and if anything were to happen, if I were to get in contact with the wrong kind of germs or something, like that's it. I'd be donezo, right? But then there's a moment of realization where, hey, I can still live a full life. I can still have happiness. I can still fulfill my dreams. I can still climb any mountain that I wish to climb, right? And there have been people with transplants that have climbed Everest, and that do run marathons and all these sorts of things. I haven't done either of those things yet, but, not out of the realm of possibilities. But this is us realizing that we still can live the dream. Yeah. And so you're looking up and you're starting to dream again, and we're feeling very empowered by that. We've got that Emperor energy in the future position. Very empowered. We've got our wand back, right? Got our wand back. And now we're going to move to the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And it supports the channel. I appreciate that. So, general energy, the Star card. You feel like you really have penetrated into the mysteries of the universe. Like you understand destiny and fate now. That you've maybe had a near-death experience in your life. Maybe this was it. Maybe the NDE was a long time ago. I feel like you know something. I feel like you're tapped in. I feel like you have something of an odd connection with spirit. Yeah? I mean, it almost feels like a love-hate relationship in a way. It kind of feels like you're so close that you almost bicker like siblings. Does that make sense for you? I feel like you really do have these kinds of, conversations. And it sort of always comes back around that, okay, Spirit, you were right. But, sometimes Capricorn, you can be a stubborn old goat, and you don't always want to hear, you don't always want to listen to what Spirit's telling you, but you always come around and, yeah, Spirit, you're right. You're right. And I think Spirit has always been telling you that you're meant for great things. I think Spirit is telling you that, we sometimes have to focus on the internal healing, the internal work, letting the light fill us up to clear out the blockages, to clear out all the junk. And then we can get on with our path. Sometimes it feels like we're not really making progress on the path. Sometimes we feel like that hanged man, where it's just our life has been suspended. And we've just stopped, and we're stuck in this limbo. And that's it. And I wasn't able to climb any further. I think Spirit's saying, no, this is, it's a temporary thing. And then when this jackpot gets here, this big payday, this restoration of health, this clean bill of health, whatever it is that you're experiencing, it's kind of like Spirit saying, see, I told you, now keep going. Get a move on, The Star card is a sense of destiny. It is us coming closer to answering the question, who am I and why am I here? What am I made of and where am I going? Yeah. And I think that this situation for you is making you realize that I didn't know the answer to that question. I thought I did, but now I realize that there are many more dimensions to that question than we first thought. Okay? So I wonder if with this situation, if you're sort of becoming an advocate for something, or if you're going to be sort of volunteering, if you're going to make something about this part of your life's work, okay, if you did recover from a major illness or something, I feel like you're in some way giving back. Maybe you're moving into the healthcare field, maybe you're volunteering, or you're becoming a patient advocate or something like this. If this is a financial thing, maybe you're going into some kind of type of business or a service in your life where you're helping other people to overcome their financial hardships, something like this, right? You're sort of getting a new path is sort of unfolding before you. New options, new ideas, yeah. And then, of course, we've got the Eon card in the position of the environment. You're ready to let go of all this, whatever this was, and move into what's coming next. This is a doorway of fire, and I think getting to the summit of this mountain, I think that was your doorway of fire, because I feel like this was such a challenging climb for you that you almost don't believe that it's real, that you're at the top. You're at the top of Everest. It feels like a dream, I think that was your fiery doorway. And I think that this jackpot that we're talking about is you popping out the other side of this fiery doorway and realizing now that we're sort of in pure air, right? We're in a lot of air and fire over here. The Knight of Swords is fire and air, and of course the Prince of Swords is air and air. So it's a lot of air up here at the summit of Everest, right? So I feel that on the other side of this doorway, it is like fresh air. It is like you are emerging from this very difficult. I wonder if this is sort of the pressure cooker energy that we talk about over here, and then this is the doorway getting out of the pressure cooker. And when you emerge on the other side, you're done with the hardships, and now you're just in this it's fresh air. Right? It's just there's all sorts of possibilities. See, now we really want the diversification of ideas. We really want all the other opinions. It's kind of like, I need some help. Help me think of some ideas of what we should go do, of what I could do in my life. It's like you're looking for inspiration everywhere. You want to do everything at once. You're just so, it feels like a fool energy, kind of. Maybe the mystery card is going to be the Fool card. But we want that. Okay, we want that diversity of thought, right? We want to have all sorts of different ideas. Make a list. We were talking about making a bucket list, right? Or make a top 10 list of what you want in life, what you want to accomplish, But your bucket list, don't limit it to 10 things, right? A million things, 100,000 million, trillion, billion. Whatever the biggest number is. But then we get that fixed air energy with the Prince, right? And I think that this is the ability to sort of pick which one you want to do first, This is then to have a direction, to say, okay, now I'm going to take this path here, right? But at first we sort of get stunned by the view from the top of Everest. It's just, I can see the whole world. And it's sort of overwhelming. We get the 10 of Cups. It feels overwhelming. It feels like I don't know whether to leap for joy or sob and cry and weep, And it's kind of an overwhelming thing. And I know that when I had my transplant and I realized that, hey, I still have a lot of life to live, It was sort of overwhelming because we almost resign ourselves to only having a short time. And then there's this revelation that you have a lot more time than you thought. And it's kind of, it's a weird shock, a weird shock. But then we sort of settle into a path and we start moving forward. And this is the best. This This is the best read of all time. I believe that. And I think that the earth energy that we see, whether this is health or wealth, is leading you to getting your magic wand back. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. I want it to be the Fool, or I want it to be, obviously, the Ace of Wands or the Magician or something like this. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. We've got the Justice card. Interesting. Yeah, this is, I think, about finding the right partners, finding the right people to go do things with. You know, I feel like this is an energy, whatever this situation is anyway, I feel like it's making you want to connect with people. Like, you don't want to be just the solo mountain goat anymore. You're looking for climbing partners. You're looking to somebody to go run the marathon with. You're looking for people that, you know, that can stimulate you. You're looking for people that can have good ideas just the way you can. Both of these are Libra cards. Could be a Libra person very close to you in life. You could be, I think, maybe meeting a Libra person. And that's a person that sort of the opposite of you, right? We think of Libra as very, very social, wants to be like a social butterfly, wants to be friends with everybody, wants to be up in the mix all the time. Where Capricorn, sort of the goat, just kind of want to just leave me alone, you know? You're sort of the opposite. It's kind of like a movie motif, you know? But I think that you're going to meet with someone who, under normal circumstances, would have seemed like your opposite. You wouldn't really want to partner up with that kind of energy. But I feel like you're really going to be drawn to somebody that has this sort of kind of over the top social energy, and you're going to, I think, really enjoy it. You know, and it's a different energy for you, for sure. And like we said at the beginning, you're sort of used to, you make the decisions, and you're just kind of the old goat. You're going to do things your way. But then there's this open-mindedness where it's just like, okay, well, maybe this is a new lease on life. Maybe now I'm going to be open to all sorts of people and ideas, and I think it's going to take you a lot of places in life that you never thought you would go. Yeah, I think literally traveling is in your future. I think the financial foundations, the resources are going to be there for you to explore many different things. Yeah. And I feel that the partnership energy is going to be very prominent in your life right now. Maybe you already have a life partner, but I feel like this is really kind of a best friend energy. You know? It's a best friend that it's someone that like really wants to be your friend, but you're kind of resistant to it. But the two of you make such a wonderful pair, you know. I don't know what TV show I'm thinking of right now. Is it Perfect Stranger? Not Perfect Strangers. I can't think of it. Anyway, it's kind of an odd couple vibe, I guess. But it's going to be really good for you. It's going to be nice. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. If you don't want to watch the extended readings here, you can go to the website, doveandserpenttarot.com. Sign up over there. Check out the extendeds. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.